twice for Leinster. He's captained the Lions. He's done everything on his CV, and yet there's one thing missing, and it's out there.
Yeah, it is, and he'll want to have a good World Cup, not alone for the team, but for himself. And you know, that pressure is on them all. And speaking with the players yesterday, I met them when I arrived in Taranaki here. They're highly charged and really excited about getting going here.
Well, get going we do. Jonathan Sexton sends it up, and Hayden Smith, the Saracens' second row, gratefully receives. Petrie, born and bred in New York, so he knows all about the emotions of the day. Good take from Jamie Heaslip. He's got a point to prove. Of course, he was ignored for the 2007 squad. Cross kick from Sexton. Oh, almost working. It's gone backwards, but no Irish hand able to secure the ball.
Yeah, it was a great take from Heaslip there, and quick ball, and you can see the way Sexton started looking to kick the ball straight across field to Tommy Bowe, who's, you know, he's really good at fielding those high balls. So, you know, interesting start from Ireland.
And you can hear this crowd. It really is, well, we can see so many green flags around us. I'm sure there's USA fans in there as well, but it's the Irish voices that are singing loudest at the moment.
15
minutes on from the Eagles is going to set up this first scrum. Now, it has been lashing down here in Taranaki over the last 6-7 hours. Intermittent rain for the last 24, but from about 9 o'clock this morning, it has really deposited so much rain on that turf, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the forwards in particular can get their studs into that for scrum time.
Ireland need to get a really good platform in the set piece, and you know, the USA struggle a little bit in the Churchill Cup and scrum time, so it's, you know, there's been question marks over the Ireland scrum as well. So if they're to do well in this World Cup and in this game in particular, they need to get a really good set piece and attack the USA in the scrum.
Stanfield getting ready to add his shoulder to the cause.
Touch, pause, England.
And inevitably, both front rows sniff the turf. There's 9 of this Irish lineup that haven't experienced World Cup rugby. How different is it compared to normal test matches, do you think, for these guys?
Yeah, it's definitely different. There's a great excitement about playing the World Cup, and all those guys will want to prove a point. But there's big pressure. It only comes around every 4 years, so they want to perform.
Well, we heard Eddie O'Sullivan saying about the pressure. Jamie Heaslip making the most of the Irish pressure up front. Look at that drive, and it gets the penalty. Stephen Perry's just making sure Conor Murray didn't get carried away. He knows that with Jonathan Sexton in the 10 shirt, well, with Ronan O'Gara in the 10 shirt, doesn't matter for Ireland, does it?
Doesn't matter, they're both good kickers, but that's a great scrum from Ireland. That's exactly what they'll want. They'll want to attack this USA scrum, and showed a lot of weakness in the Churchill Cup. And you can see it's a great shunt. Certainly went down to keep the ball in there, and a great return with a penalty straight away. And it's a great psychological blow as well for Ireland.
So the first opportunity, 4 points, goes to that man, Jonathan Sexton, 26 years of age. A great opportunity for him to show what he's about now on the world stage. He's done it for Leinster. We've seen it for Ireland in the Six Nations. Now he's at the top table. Now his chance to really establish his name in world rugby. Not going to happen with the first kick. The sighter not coming off.
Let's hope that's not a sign of things to come. When we looked at the English game last night, England-Argentina, all the kicks that were missed there.
And that was indoors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, today we have got a strong breeze, which is, I think, when we left the pitch, was going as you're looking on your screens, going from right to left, so it should be helping Sexton in this first half. But as we saw yesterday in that Scotland-Romania game, the wind can be a fickle thing in these parts, and it may well be that the kickers really need to take the sure shots and not the balls from a distance. Great break from Keith Earls, looking for the support. It's gone into the hands of the USA, but Keith Earls slicing through the defence. Paul Emerick clearing his lines. Stephen Darcy back on duty to pick the loose ball up. Good confidence boosting run for Keith Earls there.
Yeah, it's a great start.
Murray threatening the fringe defence, looking for the gaps. He keeps the ball moving. Jordan Murphy, great to see him out here. Driscoll puts it through, and Roland Siniola is forced back to his own 5.
And that's a good return for Ireland. It wasn't the best kick out in the world out of O'Driscoll, but Ireland have the line out now, and they'll want to attack scrum and line out, as I said. Get them all going here against the USA and take them on around the fringes early on in the game. That's what Ireland want to do. They want to set a platform for the backs. You know, let's hope that, you know, I wouldn't like to see Ireland throwing the ball around too much too early. You know, we need Ireland to be dominant. They need to be dominant against the USA and set a good platform.
Looks like the head of Shane Jennings did a bit of damage to his own man there. Back on his feet and eager to get his hands on the ball. Look at the line he took. Well,
there's probably a question mark there with you know, Tommy Bowe, but
he made the most of it.
Okay, yeah, he did. Yeah, certainly, I think it was okay. It's a shame that Pete Earls didn't hold on to the ball though and set up a ruck there.
There is Eddie O'Sullivan alongside his coaching crew. To drive them all. Patience from the Irish pack. Looks like they may have made some headway. The scrum splintering alarmingly there.
Obstruction, no advantage. Number 2 in and collapse. Number 2 side and collapse.
Teal, I think, who's been called for pulling it down.
Yeah, it's a great take in the line out from O'Connell, and a great driving maul. They really caused the USA a lot of problems there, and referee penalising for pulling it down, so it's interesting to see they're kicking to the corner now.
Interesting early call from O'Driscoll.
Yeah, I think Paul O'Connell would probably be overruling O'Driscoll there after that last maul. Ireland be confident they can get over the line here.
It's an interesting strength, I suppose, that you have 2 captains.
Yeah, well, they do work well together.
That personality.
Absolutely, they work well together. They're both really good leaders, and when they both play for Ireland, they do particularly well.
Take at the back from Ferris, offloaded immediately. Around comes Tom Court, bundled to the ground by Todd Clever. Ball still there for Ireland. The forwards starting with pace and power. Court goes again. Murray allowing Donnacha O'Callaghan to feed his second row partner. Now it spins again left. Sexton, O'Driscoll trying to get the ball wide. And Ngwenya up so quickly. Good defensive work from the Biarritz flyer. Not known for his defensive prowess, but doing what was needed there. Jordan Murphy trying to spin out of the tackle. Eagles just forcing Ireland back a bit. And forcing Ireland to set again. Sexton changes the option. I think Tommy Bowe was ahead of the kicker there.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Ireland attacking open side and then coming back down the blind side a couple of times there. It's obviously a tactic or a ploy that they have. Some great pick and drives there. Another were penalised there for being ahead of the kicker. But if O'Driscoll could have got that pass away, it was a certain try.
Well, it was that man Ngwenya that made sure it didn't get away. He's noticeably bulked up since the last World Cup. And of course he made such a memorable addition with that try against Brian Habana in Montpellier.
And I can assure you it hasn't lost none of his pace. I played against him last year.
Murphy, has he got his pace? Yes. John to Earls, Murray up in support. Good work from the young scrum half. He's been buzzing around this first 9-10 minutes or so, keeping himself in the game. And steps in as deputy scrum half. Sexton looking for his runners. It's Ferris who offers once again. lazy runners
standing in front of
from
the
the
ball.
Eagles. I think it
You're
was
standing in an offside
Hayden
position in
Smith
front
on
of the
that
ball.
occasion.
Yeah, and it's good ball retention from Ireland. Again, they seem to, you know, the Americans seem to be shooting up on the outside, so I think Ireland are doing the right thing by being direct, running hard. Good carry there from Ferris. And, you know, the USA second row there, he's just stands up in the tackle, and it's a straightforward penalty, a poor penalty. Eddie O'Sullivan won't be pleased with that.
Hayden Smith, of course, one of two players in this American side, or American squad, I should say, that plays Premiership rugby. Chris Wiles not fit enough for selection today, but they're hoping he's going to be back by Thursday for that game with Russia. As you can see, the heavens have opened once again.
He's a good player, Hayden Smith. He's had a, you know, signed a new 2 or 3 year contract with Saracens, so he's made an impression in the Premiership, and you know, Saracens are a very strong team, so that's he is a very good player.
Sexton to break the duck, but this time he flirts with the right hand upright. Well, the Irish fans not happy with their start from the tee, much as they will be pleased with their play in open surroundings.
Yeah, he'll be pretty disappointed with that, Johnny Sexton, and
It got chucked down from the sideline.
it was, although it was a long way out, it was, you know, more or less straight in front for him, so it's 0 from 2 so far, which is disappointing because Ireland have started really well.
And if that wasn't, that one certainly is. Tommy Bowe really struggling with the wet ball. Ironic grin on the face of the Ospreys winger. Good to see him back on the park. Struggled with injury through August with his foot, and of course missed out on the last World Cup, similarly through injury. Here's John van der Giesen. Bath supporters may recognise him in his short spell with the West Country Club, made a really positive impact. And now back in his country's colours, and alongside Hayden Smith, has got to lock this USA scrum. The first one went back at a rate of knots. Nick Johnson doing very well to pick up, get the ball away as quickly as possible. Paul Emerick. Ulster fans will remember him. About a year ago, he was signed as injury cover for Andrew Trimble. Trimble, of course, on the bench this afternoon. Andrew Suniola, the brother of the fly half, sets the ball back eventually. A little bit of indecision from the Eagles, forcing Petrin at the kick, but Ngwenya, whenever Ngwenya's around, there is danger.
Yeah, there's always danger when a ball is kicked in behind. His pace is unbelievable. You see a quick throw from Ireland there to Darcy.
And moving this game on a pace, a determined philosophy, obviously, to keep the Eagles moving.
Going back there to the play before that, you see he's a really physical, abrasive player, Paul Emerick, and he made a great carry there, drove O'Driscoll back a few yards, so he's a key player for the USA.
A man who's really enjoyed his rugby around the world, really. Clubs in New Zealand, Italy, Wales and Ireland.
He's a bit of a shooter in defence, and he's certainly today he's going to try and stop Darcy and O'Driscoll from making any headway.
Good take from van der Giesen at the front. Clever in at the first receiver, in fact working as a rebound wall. Suniola trying to work Ngwenya into space. Up to halfway. And Nick trying to get past O'Driscoll. That's easier said than done. And giving away the penalty as well. We've talked and will talk, no doubt, long and hard about the merits of Brian O'Driscoll, but when you can tackle like an open side flanker like he does there.
He wasn't going to let Emerick drive him back that time. It was a great tackle. He turned him onto his back. Tommy Bowe comes straight in and on his feet and gets the penalty for Emerick for holding on. So it's a great defensive effort out of Driscoll and Bowe there.
There's Taranaki gets its first version of the fields of Athenry. Jonathan Sexton tries to move Ireland back into attacking position, courtesy of the defensive work of his skipper.
There's a great atmosphere here. Just seeing all the Irish driving around in the camper vans yesterday and today was a great sight, and they're obviously enjoying themselves here in New Plymouth.
They'll be enjoying themselves a lot more if they can get points on the board. The driving point of that maul, Rory Best with his hands on the ball. Once again, the hooker just trying to steer the ship. Now he releases it. Conor Murray with his first burst. He's very much a Mike Phillips type of scrum half, isn't he? You can see a lot of the similar traits, similar bulk, similar body style.
Yeah, he's a really, really physical player. You see a great break for him there. He has power through the tackle. Very dynamic, and a guy who, if he gets confidence at this level, can go on and do great things for Ireland. He's certainly going to put pressure on Owen Redden and Isaac Boss for a starting place here. And there's probably a show of intent from Declan Kidney today to select Conor Murray, given Ireland play Australia next week. So it's a big call, and I think he has a great opportunity to try and nail down a place for himself here.
Certainly major opportunity for the young man.
He was pretty lucky there. When you look back in the replay, I think he got isolated, so I'm not sure that was an Irish penalty. I think it could have went the other way, because Todd Cleaver was on his feet trying to play the ball.
Well, all the Irish fans are worried about is it's Jonathan Sexton lining up this kick from in front of the posts. And after a quarter of an hour, at last Ireland are on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and it's no more than they deserve. I think they've been really dominant in the scrum, in the maul. They've been really direct, and I think you know, they haven't given USA a sniff yet. In really bad conditions here, and you know, I'm pleased with the way Ireland have started, and it's no more than they deserve to get in front.
Sexton, who was such a key part, of course, of Leinster and that fantastic win against Northampton. Now 14 points in the Ireland defeat of England as well at the end of the Six Nations. More and more you see him making such an impact on the teams that he's playing in now. He's to barge his way through two Eagles defenders. And Sexton doing very well to recover. And you can just see how sodden this turf is. Not sure whether the players have got blades or studs on, but must feel like they've got skates on at times. Tommy Bowe sends a kick through. Brings over Blaine Scully, the young American fullback. Good counter-rucking. Is that? I thought it was going to come back Ireland's side, but in fact it's Best who's penalised.
Yeah, he wasn't holding his, supporting his own weight. It was a good kick from Tommy Bowe up the wing, and Ireland just went off their feet there, Rory Best. I prefer to see Ireland. Sexton did very well there. He slipped on the ground, but prefer to see Ireland just clear their lines, kick the ball up the field, come up in a line and put pressure on the USA defence, force them to kick back.
You've obviously seen a lot of Ireland over the past year, 2 years. Have they looked to change their style noticeably?
Yeah, well, I think in the warm-up games they tried to be a little bit too expansive, didn't get their set piece right, didn't be more direct at the start of games. That's what pleased me tonight and the start of this World Cup. They need to be direct. They have the quality in the back line, but they need to get their forwards carrying, rumbling. It's great to have Ferris back in the team as well, and you know, get Sean O'Brien back in with him. You've two massive ball carriers.
Andrew Suniola feeds on to his midfield partner. Paul Emery sets the ball back. Not going anywhere fast. Suniola, the junior, unable to get up over halfway. Hayden Smith tries to make a dent in that green line, and in the end the kick is forced from Petrie. Wells just watches it rumble into touch.
Yeah, it's a good kick from Petrie. Good defence from Ireland there, forced him into kicking. You've seen that a couple of times from him so far. Just trying to put the ball in behind Keith Earls there. He probably was a bit too far forward. But good defence from Ireland. I think something that's was probably one of the bonuses in the campaign was their defence was quite good in the World Cup warm-up games.
Great leap and take from O'Connell. He really is a marvellous athlete in the middle of that line-out. Best allows his scrum half to get the box kick, but it's blocked. And here is an opportunity for the Eagles. It's Todd Clever, the captain. Captain America, they call him. Ball is slowed down. Siniola tries to thread the kick through, but it's going nowhere, and Rory Best is over there quickly.
Number 2 green in front of the obstruction. In front of a kick.
From an offside position, that was almost inadvertent offside.
Yeah, it was a poor kick from Conor Murray. He had a lot of time at the back of the maul there, and you know, Ireland putting pressure on themselves. What I spoke about earlier, they need to clear their lines, get out of the 22, because it's the only way the USA seem to be putting any pressure on them from Ireland's couple of mistakes in the last few minutes.
Well, it's going to be a first penalty opportunity for James Patterson, as we see what led to the penalty award. See that kick just coming in from Ronan Suniola. There was the ricochet off Murphy, and well, Best making most of an instinct.
Yeah, he was ahead of the kicker. It was unfortunate for him. I'm not sure Sean Pittman was onside there at the side of that maul when I looked at the replay again from the block down, so maybe it was being a bit too harsh on Conor Murray.
Now, big pressure on this young man, James Patterson. He's actually a Kiwi. He's got dual citizenship. His mother's from the States. He got his first cap against Japan in the last warm-up test before America arrived here. Born in Christchurch, played for Canterbury, moved south to Southlands and played for the Otago Highlanders in the Super 15. But now, not only is he playing in this match, well, I was about to say he's taking on the responsibility, tried to bend that one round with the wind. It's not working on that occasion. But big pressure on the left winger, being asked to take on that responsibility. That said, moving into the second quarter of the game and only 3 points the difference, will the Eagles be relatively happy with their work so far?
Yeah, I think they'll be pleased. You know, Ireland, although they've been dominant, they haven't shown that dominance on the scoreboard. It's pretty difficult to play out there as well, Simon. The conditions, you see the rain coming down, another knock on from Darcy, and the mistakes are starting to creep in a little bit. But Ireland just need to stick to their game plan, be really direct, like they did in the first couple 10-15 minutes, and they have to be patient, as we've seen the first couple of games. They need to be patient, not force it.
Darcy, who made one appearance in the '99 World Cup and then had to wait till 2007 to add to that. Became the youngest Irishman in Rugby World Cup history for that match in '99 against Romania.
Touch, pause, engage.
Again, great power from the Green 8, but Ngwenya has the ball, skating to a halt, but the ball's set back for Petrie. Ronan Suniola feeds outside to Emmerich. Emmerich spins out of one tackle, lassoed by Darcy. Again, the ball moved back in. This time it's Teal, Phil Teal, making the most of his start at hooker. Mike McDonald, special day for him. He led the teams out to celebrate breaking the American record. His 63rd cap, taking him one past Luke Gross. Petrie eventually digging the ball out. There's Hayden Smith again. Through the legs from Andrew Suniola, picked up by his brother. America happy to throw the ball about, but it's only taken them backwards. That's halfway, and Ireland will be quite happy to see that sort of indecision from Blaine Scully. It's forced the Eagles back into their own half, and they're going to have to think again and/or kick. And Suniola sends it back behind Earls once again, but this time doesn't find touch. Well, we've mentioned before that the different setups between these two teams, but very different setups that they've had to work from over the past few months.
Absolutely, and the USA only came into camp in August. Speaking to Eddie O'Sullivan this morning, he had to he organised a training camp in July in Denver for a couple of the players, and they went and trained there at their own expense, fed themselves at their own expense. So there's really a massive contrast in the preparation for this World Cup, and they don't get any government support. And you know, obviously a lot of these guys are in the shop window trying to get professional contracts after the World Cup, and it's you know, it's a massive ask for the USA to come and do well at the World Cup against higher ranking teams like Ireland.
Certainly half of this squad have got full-time jobs, so I'm told are taking unpaid leave in order to be over here. You've got a fair few that will be familiar names, particularly to followers of English rugby. Mentioned Mike McDonald, of course, at Leeds. Sean Pittman, the tight head, he's been an almost ever present at London Welsh. Sifa and Usaz there at Nottingham, Wiles and Smith I mentioned at Saracens. Andrew Suniola going to Cornish Pirates after this tournament. But it is a very different working regime in which they have to cope during this tournament. Johnson desperately trying to get his team onto the front foot, get a bit of go forward. Suniola to Suniola. This time the kick is threaded through, and Jordan Murphy happy to watch it just find that far touchline.
And it's interesting to see the USA have shortened their line out to 5 men, and they're trying to win a lot of ball at the front, take it off the top and get Suniola over the gain line, which he did there very well. And they're pretty powerful boys, the two brothers, Suniola brothers, 10 and 12.
Well, the 14th set of brothers, or there's 14 sets of brothers, I should say, that are in this Rugby World Cup. The first set that have taken to the starting lineup so far. Good breakaway from Best. He really is making more and more of an impact on this Irish side. Played in all the Six Nations games in the last 5 years. Really resolved that hooker position, the battle with Jerry Flannery, albeit Flannery's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, Flannery's been out for a couple of years, and it's great to see him back in action again. He's really struggled since he got injured training with the Lions in 2009. You talk about Rory Best, he's probably question marks about his throwing, but he's such a durable, robust player and very physical.
And of course those memories of him for 2007 are particularly poignant with the retirement of brother Simon.
Yeah, of course, Simon, yeah, that was a massive disappointment for Simon, but you know, Rory's gone on to play a lot of games for Ireland, had a lot of success.
Sexton sends it into the opposition 22. And Blaine Scully, one of those young men that is looking to make an impression, made his debut for the Eagles. There he is in the Churchill Cup Bowl final against Russia at the end, well, beginning of June, I beg your pardon. Graduated from UCLA and now hoping that this will be the shop window that may give him a chance to play rugby professionally. Just looking at the rain sweeping now, and it's sweeping, interestingly, it's changed direction. It's coming from left to right as we're looking on the screen into the faces of Ireland. Good take, and there's Heaslip, dynamic as ever from the base. O'Callaghan takes it forward, O'Callaghan and O'Connell once again the engine room for Ireland, as they were right the way through the 2007 World Cup. Sexton decides to go himself. Murray having to dig the ball out, but O'Connell making some headway. That's the 22 in the back of the frame. Now the ball's out to Mike Ross. Good to see him in an Irish shirt. He's another man who's made an impact since being given the opportunity. Oh, big tackle. More of a hug maybe from Todd Clever, but a really forceful hug as it was. Murray not throwing the 50-50 ball.
And this is exactly what Ireland needs. Hold on to the ball, keep retention of the ball. They've got themselves back into the game. Just need to be patient now and hold on to the ball.
Connell trying to deflect the attention. Now it's out to O'Driscoll, and O'Driscoll loves these sort of positions. Jennings losing his feet, but good handling from Ireland to get it out to Darcy. Darcy into Tommy Bowe, but Bowe just unable to hold on. And Petrie glad to clear his lines. Doesn't find the touch, but another opportunity goes a-begging for Ireland. Earls slaloming his way through up to the 22 again. Trying to reignite and look at the numbers on that far side. Stephen Ferris is ignoring them for now, using that big bolt to make a dent. It's out there to Rory Best. He's looking inside for Earls, but I think there's just a hint of a knock-on. It's not going to be given. Well, great handling from Ireland, if nothing else.
Handling. Their ball retention is very good, and they're some great carries. Great carry from Ferris there, and it's exactly what they need to do. They just need to be patient. Don't force that 50-50 pass in the conditions. But you know, that's very good play from Ireland.
And to that extent, they can't afford to look at the scoreboard and think half an hour gone and we've only got 3 points. They've got to look at the positives they've gained from the open play that we've seen from them.
Yeah, exactly. They can't be forcing it. I think, as I say, they just need to be patient, work their way into the game, hold on to the ball and try and just get, you know, a couple of scores on the board. It's not going to be a high-scoring game in these conditions, but they just need to get the dominance, put pressure in this scrum. Again, their set piece is going very well, so they just need to stay in the game. This might take 60-70 minutes to wear the USA down. They're certainly enjoying the physical contest, the USA. They're hitting the Irish runners really hard. They're big, physical, strong guys. But, you know, their downfall is their set piece.
You talked about the minnows doing so well in the early matches, but quite often what we're seeing is that games are decided in the final 10-15 minutes.
Absolutely.
When the professionals, the big teams, can make their...
Ireland just need to wear them down. They need to keep at it, keep in their faces, keep putting the pressure on them.
And almost getting the wheel on the Eagles. They're forcing them towards that far touchline. Actually doing well to clear. But I think it's Tom Court who's been singled out by referee Craig Gilbert.
That's exactly what they got to avoid, you know. It's a needless penalty there from Tom Court. Just a bit too enthusiastic at the side of the ruck, and it gives the USA a chance now to feel the line out after this.
We talk about the pressure on the players, but of course there's pressure on the referees as well. It's a massive occasion for them, and Craig Gilbert is in his second World Cup, but this is the first time he's been on the whistle. He was TMO and touch judge last time. It's a great opportunity for the officials, I was going to say, to enjoy the experience, maybe not in these conditions.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for them as well, and he's a very, very good referee, Craig Gilbert. He's a really nice temperament about him on the pitch, and he's done a good job so far.
He was on the whistle at Croke Park for that England-Ireland game in the Six Nations a couple of years back. Petry's box kick gets partially charged, and Tommy Bowe again really struggling with his handling. Eventually the Eagles forward sorted out. There's nobody there to take the ball on. In the end it's Pittman who steps up. McDonald, what a servant he's been for the Eagles and of course for Leeds Carnegie. 6th season for the Headingley club, when he gets back. Again, the kicking option chosen. You can understand why in these conditions, because it can force mistakes like that.
You see another mistake from Jordan Murphy, and Tommy Bowe's had a few. Ireland can't afford to have those mistakes. They need to, need to feel those. There was no pressure on Jordan, and it's uncharacteristic out of him. The man sitting back in the studio, Gervin Dempsey, was a great man for taking those kicks.
He would love it in these conditions.
Gervin would love these conditions, yeah.
The squall is working for the Eagles at the moment, because it's driving the rain right into the faces of the Irish back three. A quick boot away from the line out. Good work from Shane Jennings in his scrum cap. Set there for Conor Murray. Oh, well, you could see what he was thinking. He thought Ferris was on the burst, but the pass just not laying up properly.
Yeah, it was a bad option from Conor Murray. He should have come on the open side. You see Brian O'Driscoll was screeching for the ball out there. The USA only had 2 or 3 guys out there. So you see the handling errors. Ireland have 8, USA have 2. I know Ireland probably have had more possession, but they need to try and cut out those errors. Declan Kidney won't be pleased with the handling errors so far. It's great work from Shane Jennings there as well. The ball was hacked through, and you know, he made the tackle, counter-rucked. He's a guy with a great opportunity here. You know, he had a massive disappointment not being selected first time, and you know, with David Wallace's unfortunate injury, he gets the opportunity, and you know, he's a really strong player on the ground. He's a great number 7.
Talk about Declan Kidney and the impact he's had on Irish rugby. Of course, winning the 2009 Grand Slam in his first season in charge. I was reading Irish legend Keith Wood said he's a very weird, strange and wonderful man. And you look at him and you think, well, he's not your normal head man, is he? He's more of a facilitator. He's getting the best out of everybody else.
He's very, very good at getting the best out of players and understanding players, and you know, he doesn't do a lot of coaching anymore. He just tries to work on the preparations and the plans, and it's worked really well for him. He's had great success.
That line-up certainly not working for the Eagles. All right, taking quickly, and Sexton inviting Darcy to test out Roman Suniola's defence. Ferris takes on.
Last man's feet, blue.
Again, Ireland now have to show the patience to make the pressure count. He's there a sudden burst onto the ball. Oh, the pickup just not working for O'Callaghan, but Murray's going to take it over the gain line. Driscoll stepping in as the conduit for the next move. Jamie Heaslett.
They need to get more support on each other's backs, and those one-out runners. I think the USA are enjoying the one-on-one tackles. So I think from the Irish point of view, they just need to get on each other's backs.
Certainly can't afford to get isolated in these conditions, because there's not much of a slip pass as Sexton sets it up in the air for Tommy Bowe. Just a little too strong for the wingman to get in there. But again, the change of option working for Ireland, causing a bit of chaos in the Eagles' defence.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was the right option there. You know, on the 22 it'd be great if it came off and Tommy Bowe got the kick, but you know, it's disappointing. It's another turnover, an opportunity for the USA to clear their lines again.
4 minutes to go in this first half. Just that solitary penalty from Johnny Sexton after a quarter of an hour. The only difference between the two teams. The conditions limiting play, particularly for the Irish. About hooking in his trip down to the West Country, played with Cinderford down in the Gloucester region. They all know about front row play down there. Clever. He's played all over the world. Now playing with Suntory in Japan with the likes of George Gregan and Eddie Jones, of course, in charge.
It's good pressure in the line-out from Donegal O'Callaghan. You see, as I said earlier, the USA have been resorted to trying to throw a lot of ball to the front. They're obviously not that confident. There you have Gert Small. He'll be, you know, I'd be pretty pleased so far with how his forwards have gone, especially in the set piece. Obviously, we would like to see more on the scoreboard, but they've been pretty dominant so far, the Irish forwards.
Can they make that domination pay before half-time? Heaslett working to Murray very easily, and Ferris trying to get past his man. Good tackle by the number 8, Nick Johnson. Murray just unable to scoop the ball up cleanly.
Yeah, it's disappointing for Conor there. It's another little mistake again that Ireland could do without, but great to see Ferris there. Powerful man, great ball carrier, and Ireland need to utilise him more, especially in the conditions.
2 minutes to go. which of these coaching teams are going to be the happier in the changing sheds at half-time.
I'm sure it'll be Eddie O'Sullivan, because he's openly said before the game that he wants to try and keep the score down. At this stage, the USA are still in the game. It's only 3-0, so he'd be pretty pleased. Most people would expect Ireland to win this game comfortably, and I think deep down they would be looking for a bonus point here, but at this stage now I think they just want to win the game.
Well, looking for the first try maybe, with Sexton steering back inside. Scully doing well just to bring the steer down. O'Callaghan driven back. Well, if Ireland could get something on the board now, it really would be testament to their efforts in this first 40. Just calling the shots where he wants everybody. It's a slow ball though, and the blue line is in place. Sends it wide right again. Straightening up from Darcy, but Ireland doing very well to read that. Hayden Smith, the roadblock in the way of Gordon Darcy there. Now Tommy Bowe comes off his wing, looking for the ball, looking to make an impact before the break. O'Driscoll spots a gap. Best up in support. Murray, show, go. Dump to the floor, 5.5 metres out. Anticipation from the US, in particular Louis Stanfield. Still they come, still the green shirts set up for attack. Still they're repelled by the Eagles. The clock ticking round towards the 40. Tommy Bowe escapes the clutches, and Tommy Bowe is going to go in for a try. Ireland have got the score that their work is deserved, and it's that man, Tommy Bowe, that's breached the line.
Yeah, it's a great try from Tommy Bowe. He showed his class again there. I think he's fortunate enough there because, you know, they did a little wrap around there with Ferris to Sexton, and that wasn't the idea, probably, to give the ball back into Tommy Bowe, but it worked out great for him, and it's no more than they deserve. Their dominance in the scrum and the line-out has been fantastic so far, and they've been, you know, very physical, although, you know, the USA have been very, very physical around the fringes at their one-on-one tackles, but, you know, he just catches Mike McDonald out there with some quick feet, and it's a massive boost for Ireland going in at half-time.
Well, that's what you're always looking for, is to find a prop in your path when you're a winger like Tommy Bowe. His 18th try in Ireland's colours, and that is going to send them into the sheds in a far different frame of mind with the conversion from Jonathan Sexton. It's all been about the Irish in the first half. It wasn't on the scoreboard though until the last seconds, because now the scoreboard reads Ireland 10, the USA 0.
Hopefully something similar to what Australia did to Italy. If they retain the ball, I think USA will tire.
Lawrence, you're saying it's more like Thomond Park weather down there. You think a Thomond Park man should be on the field running Lagarde, perhaps?
I think, you know, Sexton hasn't had much game time in the last few matches, but he'll give him a little bit longer. But as I say, I wouldn't be surprised if the rain keeps coming down, if O'Gara's not brought on.
OK, well, it looks like they're ready to go. Let's rejoin our commentary team of Alan Quinlan and Simon Ward.
Well, you can hear the angst in the voice of Mr. Doyle. Has he got cause for concern, or is that try making the difference to the way that Ireland are going to play in this second half?
I don't think he should be that concerned. I think conditions are difficult. I'm pretty pleased the way they've played, bar the handling errors. There's been a few bad mistakes, handling errors, but there's not a lot more they could do. You know, the USA are coming off the line really quickly and putting a lot of pressure on Ireland, and hopefully in this half now they can, you know, get some tries on the board. You saw Italy and Australia there was 6-all at half-time, and the Aussies went on to score a lot of tries.
Well, that's what the Irish will be hoping in this second half, as Sexton finds a massive touch finder to move Ireland immediately into the opposition half. Of course, we talk about the matchups on the pitch. We can remember both coaches know each other so well. Declan Kidney was the assistant coach to Eddie O'Sullivan, although as the one member of the Irish journalist fraternity said, it was an arranged marriage, and it finished just after the Rugby World Cup in 2003. So they do know each other well, and tactically they will be pulling the strings from the stands to negate what the other's doing.
Absolutely, they both know each other very well, and you know, they have different strengths, and you know, they both had a lot of success with Declan with Munster in Ireland, and Eddie with Ireland. He's very good return as Irish coach, and he's well regarded, you know, by a lot of the players out there who've had success under Eddie O'Sullivan.
Yeah,
of course, the big disappointment was the World Cup in 2007. That was the one that probably you know, hurts Eddie the most.
But if you take that shadow away, you look at the 3 Triple Crowns, you look at, you know, he took Ireland to world #3 in the IRB rankings.
Yeah, it was a very strong period in Irish rugby, a golden era, if you like, and you know, winning Triple Crowns and Grand Slams is something that we weren't used to, and you know, you have to give him credit for that.
Pause. Ingo.
Feet disappearing.
Stay up,
As
Luke. Going to Grant.
the
Stay
forward
up.
struggle to keep the purchase with the turf. Mike McDonald being penalised there.
This is what Ireland need, is get an early score on the board and try and rack up a few penalties, push the score up a little bit, and keep wearing the USA team down, and hopefully the tries will come then for them.
We've spoken about Ireland playing against Australia next weekend, but you've got to remember the USA are playing against Russia here on Thursday. So maybe there's half a mind that's already looking to that one, which is their World Cup final.
Yeah, that's the big one they want to win. That's the game they believe they can win. But, you know, I suppose it's unfair in the second-tier teams, which USA are. They're ranked second tier, so it's, you know, it's unfortunate they have a game in 4 days, and it's a big ask for these guys, especially they're not all full-time players.
Well, Jonathan Sexton certainly is a full-time player, and now it's entrusted to him to get the scoring going in this second half. The rain has stopped for now, but that breeze is gusty at best. Again, he cannot find the target, and that is going to, well, it's going to influence the way that Brian O'Driscoll wants to play when the next penalty comes up. And as the guy said in the studio, it could encourage Declan Kidney to bring Ronan O'Gara on earlier than planned.
Yeah, I think you know, it's disappointing. You see by his facial expression there, it's you know, another missed penalty, and I think it's definitely a tailor-made game for Ronan O'Gara, and I'd be very surprised if Declan Kidney doesn't get him on the pitch. That's, you know, Sexton is obviously a great player, but as Lawrence said in the studio, O'Gara knows how to play these conditions really well, and he's one of the best in the world at it.
Yes, how many times have we seen that man on the right of shot pulling the strings either in the blue of Leinster or the green of Ireland. Good tackle, Heaslett. Feeding out and trying to make impact. You see Todd Clever waiting there. He saw Ferris lining up, and Clever getting his tackle in. Albeit, well,
Roll away.
how does he roll away? I never understand that one when you're pinioned to the floor.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get out of there. He's a pretty physical, abrasive guy, Clever, and a very, very good player. Good carry from Ferris again, and another opportunity for Sexton to try, and you see it here. He's wrapped up in the tackle, pulls him down, and very difficult for him to get out of there. You know, you could argue that the referee could give a scrum there because it's, you know, but the rules state that you have to make an effort to roll away, and he's blocking the ball from coming back there, so it's you know, it's a penalty in the law book.
Well, that's all that counts. But what counts now is the direction of this penalty attempt from John Sexton. Just getting some attention in the foreground. Put Sexton in the zone, in focus, and looking to send this ball straight through those sticks. Again, pulls it to the left, and well, you can see on the faces of those Irish fans.
That's you know, unfortunately another poor miss from Johnny Sexton. He'd be really, really disappointed in himself. That was a much easier kick, and another 3 points goes a-begging for Ireland.
Siniola with the restart. O'Connell had a good powerful, potent first half, as did that man Stephen Ferris. Good to see him back on the park. Had to cope with more than his fair share of injuries over the last few years. O'Driscoll in as conduit. Keith Earls waiting for the pass. It's not a particularly good pass. Earls does very well to pick it up on the half volley. Tom Court. Big occasion for him, of course, as well. Came to rugby late. There's a child shot put start. And now trying to push his star into the ascendancy in the Rugby World Cup. Hayden Smith just about bringing down his opposite number. Sexton trying to dance his way past one tackle, past another. Again, the defensive work of the Eagles has been an impressive feature of this game so far. Ferris.
So dynamic, the ball in the hand, Ferris. He's made some great carries and some great pick and goals there.
17 stone in that 6'4" frame. When he gets going, he is very difficult to stop. Jennings coming out to do the dog and make sure that ball is back for Mike Ross, but he's going nowhere fast. Look at the pressure that the Eagles are putting on the ball carrier. It's a matter of whether they can hold their discipline under duress, the Eagles now. Looks like they may have turned it over. That's even better. Ball out to Andrew Suniola. And I'm not sure who got that ball back for the USA, but that is efficient, effective work.
No advantage, 3 green entry.
They're really, you know, they're really getting stuck into Ireland at the breakdown. They're counter-rucking all the time. Connell has given out to the referee there. But they're very, very strong, powerful guys. And if you're not right, if you don't get down a good low body position, you're going to be driven off. Conor Murray a little bit slow there. You know, Emmerich coming straight through the middle of the ruck, and the referee says it's okay. So it's a very good turnover for the USA.
The USA have certainly enjoyed their time in this country thus far. They were staying in Wanganui when they had their official cap-giving ceremony. They had to row their own Maori boat, the Mara, into what was a rapturous reception on the dock. The Irish, by contrast, well, they had a training camp in the foothills of the Remarkables mountain range, overlooking the stunning ski resort of Queenstown in the southwest of the South Island. And they went up to what they call the Skyline, which I can vouch from personal experience has got quite sensational views. It all really captures how this country has taken this tournament by the scruff of the neck and made it their own. Petrie again looking for that box kick. Tommy Bowe anticipating it. Loading to Jordan Murphy, but it's not a pass he would have appreciated, with Andrew Suniola breathing down his neck. Darcy pulling that one out from above his head and trying to find a way through the massed ranks of the Eagles' defence. Again, just that slip from Sexton. The bounce may well work out, or it's going to fall for Blaine Scully. Scully siding through 2. Murray gets his tackle in.
Green 9 release.
But gives away the penalty, and there is the substitution we thought might happen. It's Owen Redden and Ronan O'Gara. Not up to 50 minutes yet, but I think Declan Kidney has probably seen enough.
Yeah, it's no surprise that he's making that decision to bring both of them on. I think we need to change it up a little bit in the halfbacks, and of course O'Gara, we know what he can do in conditions like this. Ireland just need to play field position more, get down there, stay in the USA half and force them into mistakes. And you know, now we're on the back foot ourselves, messing around with the ball in their own half, Ireland.
It's going to be a very different selection you suspect, for the Australia game, but do you think that Conor Murray has done enough to warrant staying in that starting lineup?
Yeah, it's been a difficult game for him in the conditions. He's done some good things and made a few mistakes. I think he's put himself in contention. It'll stand to him this game, but you know, Redden is the guy who's probably you know, played. He's the regular number 9 for the last couple of seasons, so he's the guy probably will have something to say about that come next week. You know, it's up to him now.
He very well have something to say over the next half an hour, of course. See what impact the Redden and O'Gara axis can make. Right now they're on defensive duty because the Eagles are threatening. They haven't had many opportunities in this game. Phil Teal leading the charge. Good tackling from O'Connell. Getting low, trying to force his man back, certainly not allowing him to build up any steam. Stenko again trying to keep the momentum into this Eagles attack. Jonathan O'Callaghan, as ever, an irritant in the maul.
Yeah, and that's his strength, Donica. He makes so many tackles in the game, hits so many rucks. He's very strong defensively.
The crowd getting vocal here at Stadium Taranaki, under the shadow of Mount Taranaki. Pittman drives again. It's attritional stuff. Is it going to produce points, though, for the Eagles? Again, the ball is moved out. Again, it's that back row unit. Now they switch to the right, looking for the little pop pass for Scully. The fullback brought to ground, what, 6 metres out now. McDonald, no sidestep from him, that's for sure. Counter ruck coming in from 3 green shirts, but not producing the ball, and still the Eagles keep the pressure on. And you can hear the chants for USA ringing around this stadium. It's O'Callaghan who's penalised.
It's very patient play out of the USA, and they're doing what Ireland did to them in the first half. It's some great pick and goals there. Ireland's defence was pretty strong, but their ball retention there was very good from the USA, and that'll please Eddie there and his forwards coach as well.
And Dave Hodges, who was captain the last time these two met, now the forwards coach for the USA. And you can hear the forwards talking amongst themselves. Excellent work, good concentration. Not trying to live in a different world of spinning the ball wide or even bringing the wingers in. I don't think we've seen Ngwenya there in the Stars and Stripes scrum cap in open play yet through the course of this match so far.
I don't think he's touched the ball once or twice, but not in open space. So it's that type of game. It's lost its flow a bit. It's forward orientated, and certainly the USA are putting it up to the Irish pack now, and they have a great chance here to get on the board.
James Patterson with 3 points for the Eagles, and they are on the board. And the celebrations in the stands for the Minnows in this contest, deservedly getting points on the board. Well, a huge day, of course, in America. It means so much to them to produce a meritable performance. They don't dream beyond that, really. They've only got 2 wins in this tournament in 17 games, and both of those were against Japan. Both of, ironically, in Australia. Siniola steps in and gets his kick away, but it's not going to get them hardly any yardage at all. It has to be said. It's a line out for Ireland in the USA 22, and opportunity knocks.
Yeah, it's a poor decision there from Mike Petrie to let the ball bounce, and Sinioli slices the kick into touch on, pressures back on the USA, and this is where Ireland want to stay, and they need to try and get a score here.
Again, O'Connell, safe hands. The initial surge is held. And now the Irish pack select forward gear and quickly begin to move through the gears as well. Has to be said that the Eagles forwards have done well in the remainder of that first half, but right now they're looking at maybe conceding a try, and it's Rory Best. Rory Best goes over. Well, the power of the forwards paying off there. And the hooker, well, he's had a very positive first half, and now he's got himself on the try board as well.
Yeah, he's played very well tonight, Rory Best. His line-out throwing has been good, and he's controlled the maul there. You see, he has control at the back of the maul. He's looking up. USA are on the back foot, and just about a turn, and he breaks off the side and powers his way over.
Well, Best scored his last test try against the USA 2 years ago. He obviously enjoys playing against the Eagles. Ireland will be very happy to get that second try on the board.
Yeah, they'll be pretty pleased after just conceding a penalty to the USA, so it's a more positive outlook on the scoreboard now. They need to build on this. They need to get back up the field again and try and get another score. They've 2 scored now, and I suppose anything can happen now, and they'll be looking at the bonus points deep down, I'm sure.
Ronan O'Gara with his first kick of the afternoon. They are not in sync at the moment. Major cause for concern for the Irish fans in the stands. Happy with their lot at the moment as we move towards the final quarter. I reiterate, it has been the case against some of the smaller sides where the match can change its complete shape and flavour in the final quarter against the professional athletes of some of the bigger, more dominant sides. The dominant back rower, it's Stephen Ferris once again, puts his head down, bullets his way out of the 22, and Alan Redden sends it skywards. Good take from Keith Earls. And a renewed sense of drive and dynamic in that Irish backline. O'Driscoll threads one through up to the 22. He knows where his team need to play now. He knows they've got to build up the pressure on the opposition and hopefully build up their try count as well and look for that bonus point.
Yeah, it's a great kick out of O'Driscoll, and it's exactly where Ireland need to play the game. They need to kick the ball, play it down in the USA half, force them into mistakes, try and get lineouts and scrums in their favour, and you know, they have a chance of getting a return then.
I mean, it's just a cramp. I'm not waiting, player.
Cramp just taking down Roland Siniola. The referee is not going to wait for him. Teal just trying to let the clock sit down.
Hold on, give him a chance to make his call. Yeah. When you've got your call, throw it in, please.
Confusion reigns.
Once you've got your call, throw it in, please. Oh, sorry.
The referee doesn't want to wait for the attention
He is in the way.
to the fly-off, but decides that he's actually in the way of...
He's been bullied by Hayden Smith there to stop. He's changed his mind.
Hey, when you're bullied by Hayden Smith at 6'6", then you probably concede, I suspect. There's that try again from Rory Best. Can that initiate a new dynamic into Ireland's attacking game? This is the first game in a long Rugby World Cup. What are your memories of 2007? I know you didn't get much game time.
Pretty poor. For me, I didn't get to play at all. I was busy watching Lonesome Dove with Brian Carney and Rala, the Irish bagman. That was the highlight of the World Cup for me. It was very disappointing from an Irish point of view. There was such great expectation going there, and just team really underperformed. Massive disappointment.
But it's important to get that feel-good factor into the squad, not just the team, isn't it? To get the teams through these 5-6 weeks, whatever it may be.
Absolutely, and Ireland would have wanted to start well tonight, but you know, I think at this stage they still have a chance for the bonus point, but they need to win the game. They need to win games here.
But I was interested when we were up at Queenstown with the squad, and they've been given the chance to go bungee jumping, they've been given the chance to get out and meet the fans. It was very relaxed atmosphere, and important from the Irish coaching side that they allowed their players to go. And there's Brian O'Driscoll going, looking inside. There's Tommy Bowe's second. Well, it all is starting to happen for Ireland. Brian O'Driscoll providing the thrust to the attack. Tommy Bowe up in support. And the Irish flags are flying. And Ireland are in the ascendancy in this game.
Yeah, it's a great try from Tommy Bowe again. O'Driscoll showing his class there. Ireland put great pace onto the ball there from O'Gara's pass. It's just, I suppose it's a massive boost for Ireland now. Rory Best carrying it up here, setting up the platform. Quick pass from Redden, O'Gara, and a little ball out the back to Tommy Bowe. And Driscoll puts on great pace there and back inside. It's a great try.
Just see the difference that Brian O'Driscoll can make to an attack. In fact, it was Bowe feeding in there, you can see. And up in support to make sure that the try was completed. Ronan O'Gara. He's had one from this side already. He's a rangefinder. There is the quality of the man known through the rugby fraternity as Rog.
He can step up when he has to, and it's a great return for Ireland there. A little defensive mistake from the USA, we have to say. A little ball out the back door to Tommy Bowe, and a little defensive coach for the USA won't be pleased with that, but O'Driscoll put great pace in the ball on the outside, and he had Tommy Bowe back trailing on the inside with him again, and for a good score. They have a great chance to go for the bonus point now.
Messi Malifa on to replace Roland Siniola. His first touch, and there's also a replacement coming on from the Irish bench. It's Dennis Leamy. Picking the ball up now on his first contact. Petrie looking at that far side. Joey Flannery also on it as hooker. So the coach is beginning to make the changes, which of course are so important as the game moves into this final quarter. Connell just looking up to see if the referee was going to allow it. Shipped on quickly. It's Pittman trying to do a job as outside centre. Counter that comes in from Jordan Murphy and Ronan O'Gara, but the ball's still there for the Eagles. Interesting to see now how the Eagles react, because they will know they want to get tries on the board, and there's only been 3 games in the last 32 that the Eagles have not got over the whitewash.
It's great defence from Ireland, great shape there. Les Kiss will be delighted with that. It's a great effort there from him. USA seem to be going backwards, a bit shapeless, and Donncha O'Callaghan gets his hands in the ball there, and a massive penalty for Ireland.
Well, the last time Ireland played USA in the World Cup was back in 1999 at Lansdowne Road. Keith Wood scored 4 tries on that day, and Brian O'Driscoll made his World Cup debut by scoring a try himself. I suspect with the way that he writes his own stories that O'Driscoll may well get the bonus point try here.
Yeah, you'd imagine that could happen, but I think that try there is after injecting a new lease of life into Ireland. They look a lot sharper, they look really enthusiastic. See Jordan Murphy there, counter-rucking there, just their enthusiasm to get back up off the ground, keep making the tackles there, and to force the penalty gives Ireland a good opportunity back again the USA half here. And I think it was a crucial decision to make a few changes, freshen things up, bring on that enthusiasm, and it's worked so far for Ireland. And you know, they have another 15 minutes to try and secure that 4th try.
Matty Moakiola coming on into the Eagles front row in place of Mike McDonald. Joe Flannery again driving them all, should I say steering it. As the power is in front of him, the engine is really purring now for the Irish forwards. Flannery up into the 22. Fort coming in to secure, but, well, lack of precision, lack of execution, not helping the Irish there. And they've got to keep their concentration now.
Yeah.
They know they're in the ascendancy, but points mean prizes. And Les Kiss and Alan Gaffney in the front right of that screen there knows that they have to make the most of these opportunities.
Yeah, and I think it was a poor decision out of Jerry Flannery. It was obviously a call from Owen Redden to break off the side of them all. I would have preferred to see him going forward, keep the ball in there. They were, you know, and Jerry just gets isolated there, and good defensive work in the ruck again by the USA. They've been very strong in the contact area tonight.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Again, the big shove coming on from Ireland, but deemed as an early shove from referee Joubert.
It's a bit of a soft penalty, that one. We couldn't see on the far side, but he deemed that Tom Court went down early, and you know, it's a bit of a disappointment for Ireland there.
Court on as replacement, of course, for Cian Healy, not deemed fit enough yet to start the game. Hoping that he's going to be ready for Australia next weekend.
You can see there from the replay that Court went straight down onto his knee, and it's probably the correct decision.
And it's his last play of the day, because there's big Tony Buckley on to replace Court at loose head. The heaviest man in this Rugby World Cup. Huge fella. Just signed, of course, for Steve Diamond at Sale Sharks after this competition. Not going to plan, but good work from Donnacha O'Callaghan, and Buckley gets his first chance to get his hands on the ball. And struggling to clear that ball out. The reinforcements come up from the backs.
They're really turning into a dogfight at the breakdown.
Dennis Leamy gets it back for Redden. O'Gara decides to look at this near side, sends the kick through.
Sensible decision out of O'Gara there. There was a lot of USA players in front of him, and a great little kick. Puts the pressure right back on the USA again.
You look at the introduction now of Ronan O'Gara, and you add O'Driscoll into it. They're the two most experienced players in the 600 players in this Rugby World Cup. That experience now has to count in situations like this to put their team in the right place.
Absolutely, and it's made a difference already since O'Gara's come on. You know, he knows O'Driscoll so well, and experience counts for a lot. O'Gara's strength is putting pressure on teams. He does it so well.
I would say getting a somewhat lucky ricochet off Hayden Smith's hand, but it is there for the defensive kick. Malifo gets back, but Petrie takes on the responsibility himself. He's not going to find touch, he's going to find Tommy Bowe, but the referee says play on. Awkward catch for the Ospreys winger, but it's there for Redden. Here's Buckley. Good hit from Hayden Smith, knocking the replacement prop sideways. O'Gara out to Darcy. Earls has O'Driscoll outside. Looking for that inside pass again, just to open the door. Just didn't happen on that occasion.
Yeah, Ireland trying to go on the outside there, and it's another disappointing error from O'Driscoll. Keith Earls here passes the ball on, and the ball just slips out of his hand. It's, you know, they've lost their momentum a little bit there. Game is kind of slowed down again a little bit, and time is running out a little bit in Ireland to get that fourth try.
Well, still time on the clock, so no panic needed.
Yeah, I think the important thing is they stay down here, try not to let the USA clear their lines, and hopefully keep pushing on.
Jordan Murphy has played his 66 minutes with merit. He's been replaced by Andrew Trimble, so presumably Keith Earls will go into fullback, and Trimble will take his place on the left wing.
Pause. Engage.
Who says the American replacement scrum half there, wearing 20.
Right, your head and shoulders.
Mr. Glenn Delaney up at Nottingham.
And speaking of Andrew Trimble, I think he was the form player in the warm-up games for Ireland. Very unfortunate not to start tonight. He's a really strong physical guy who, you know, his form was fantastic throughout the campaign. And a game like this, when it's pretty tight and it's hard to move the ball wide, would suit him. So I think he's a guy who's unlucky to start, but it's a good decision to bring him on now.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Again, the pressure coming on the Eagles 8 as it's turned, disrupted, splintered. Which way is it going to come back from the resulting rock? It's there for Tim Musaz. Good redemption work from the Eagles forwards, but still pressure in the set piece. It's been there from the word go. And I don't think that Zine Guenyo is too happy right now.
Yeah, the Irish scrum has been very strong tonight. With respect to them, I don't think the USA are the strongest scrum that they're going to face. So it's, you know, it's hard to judge too much, read too much into that. But they've done their job and they've put pressure on them.
Good take from Heaslip. Became the 1,000th player to play for Ireland when he made his debut against the Pacific Islanders. Now, what, 5 years ago? That was the last game he played at the old Lansdowne Road. So his name is already etched in Irish history.
Lose scrum, use or lose green.
Use or lose, says the referee.
Down in the middle
And
of
they
the ball,
didn't,
he's
so they've
entitled
lost
to do
it.
what he did. Turnover.
I think they're getting a bit fed up of the Irish maul, the USA. They're coming in a little bit early there. They're coming in from all angles and sides, and it's pretty difficult for the referee. And you know, they really show determination there not to be driven back in the maul again. I'm not sure that's onside, to be honest, but referee said he was bound to the maul, and you know, they held the Irish ball up, and it's a good turnover from the USA.
Matthew Macchiola making his presence felt. There he is.
Hookers are great.
Plays his rugby at Bobigny in the northern suburbs there in Paris.
Yes.
The oldest player in this US squad at 33.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
The wheel goes early.
Through 90 degrees before it came out.
The Eagles are going to give up the put-in.
I think Ireland need to go for this game now. They need to up the pace, have a crack. The game is won, I think. I just think they need to unleash the shackles a little bit and really have a go now and try and move the ball around, try a few things. I suppose they've been a bit disappointing from an attack point of view all through the warm-up games and probably tonight as well. But you know, I'd love to see him have a good go now and try and really push on and put the USA under a lot of pressure.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Heaslip feeds out to Redden. Runners appear and disappear, but the ball doesn't find any of them. Tommy Bowe is forced to scuttle back into his own half to pick up the remnants. Redden. There's Ferris again. How many times have we seen that black scrum cap offer itself and go head down into the opposition defence?
Push back. Push back.
Here he goes again. As a back rower, you must appreciate the work that Stephen Ferris has got through tonight.
He's been fantastic tonight. He just backed up a second carry there. I think Hayden Smith is down injured after tackling Ferris there. He ran with a great pace and impact into him, and gets up off the ground and makes another carry. Unfortunately, got isolated there, but he's had a great game tonight.
Another man, of course, who didn't play in 2007 and now looking to show what he brings to the party for Ireland. So it's going to be an Eagles line-out into the last 10 minutes of this game. As Alan says, it looks like Ireland have got the win, but can they get what could be a very useful bonus point in the last 10 minutes? Malika and Simiola just getting out of sync with each other. The USA have always put up tough competition. They may not have won that many games, but at least 3 occasions against Romania in '99, Fiji in 2003 and Samoa in 2007. The losing margin was 4 points or less. And it really is a young game in development in the US. Nigel Melville here this evening watching his work, and we're starting to see the youngsters coming through into the Eagles side. They're very, very pro. The Sevens game over there, it's been televised live. The first leg in Las Vegas was televised live at the IRB World Sevens. They've even televised the Collegiate Sevens live on TV, and that seems to be the development tool for the US into the 15s game. Look at that control from Jamie Heaslett. And the power coming from his tight five, allowing him to do that and getting the penalty.
Yeah, it's a great scrum from Ireland. More pressure again, USA going backwards, and gives Ron Nogar an opportunity now to put the ball inside the 22, and maybe Ireland have an opportunity to take down the maul and try and get that try. Yeah, it's a sensible decision here. I think the USA break up. You see their back row up, and I suppose as a former back row player, it's you get given out to by your coaches for that after a game. You can see the Ireland are pretty determined there. They stay right down and then drive them back. And there's Sean Pittman. He's at a pretty torrid time tonight.
It's not fair when you've had to work against Tom Court for the best part of 70 minutes and then Tony Buckley comes off the bench.
With 22 stone coming on against it.
Well, there's more than 22 stone in this driving maul. Jerry Flannery or Hayden Smith's come around offside, the referee in perfect position, but I think Ireland are not going to wait for this penalty. They sense a bonus point try is in the offing. Here comes the drive towards the line. Buckley with his giant mitts on the ball. They're going to go back to that earlier infringement from Hayden Smith.
It's pretty cynical there out of the USA, and you know, I think Craig Joubert should be talking to the captain there of the USA. It's pretty cynical. Ireland were going, you know, looked like they were going to score a try there.
Things just warming up a little bit here. Jamie Heaslett getting himself involved. Hayden Smith getting a bit wired.
Settle, move back, please, settle, move. 7-7. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Referee just trying to calm things down into this final 5 minutes or so.
Original penalty, binding in a maul.
It was difficult for a team when they know they've lost a game, but
go back, try line.
the Eagles have to keep concentration. Thursday will now come into focus with that huge match with Russia. Ireland are going to keep the pressure on their opposition, opting for the scrum. And the Irish fans now sensing they may have another reason to celebrate in the next few minutes or so if that Irish pack can do their jobs.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for Ireland there. You could see there was no hesitation, O'Connell there to go for the scrum. Ireland need to be really, really disciplined here because the USA will fight for their lives here defending the line, and it's probably the last opportunity they'll get to stay down here, so let's hope they can take it.
Crouch! Touch! Pause! Engage!
As the volume is turned up in the stands,
17.
Ireland looking to try and turn up the pressure once again.
17, stay up. Going to ground. Stay up.
Keola struggling to keep his feet, keep his bind. Mike Ross has provided a bedrock for this Irish scrum recently, a real boon to have him in that front row.
Yeah, he's a guy who was probably underutilised and under the radar for a couple of years. Went over to England, had a great time, and came back and signed for Leinster, and he's been very strong since he started playing for Ireland.
You can see the drive from Ross there, but it's turned, and Clever is running it away. That's good work from the US pack. Under pressure. Chris Biller now on as replacement hooker for the Eagles. Musaz feeds outside, and Malifa, with his weaker left foot, sends the ball away. Well, the clock is ticking down towards 80.
Hugely disappointed there with that Ireland. I think, you know, when Owen Redden put the ball, I think when Jerry Flannery went to strike the ball and kicked it through to on the USA side, so it's when they move forward, massive, massive disappointment there. And Todd Cleaver comes off the back of the scrum for USA.
Line out not working to plan, but Mike Ross doing well to just pull that ball in. Redden Sends it out to O'Gara. O'Gara invites Heaslip onto the ball.
7 away. Backward. Roll away, blue. Tackler, roll away.
Penalty again to Ireland.
13.
They want the ball, they want it quickly, they want to up the ante now.
Yeah, it's a lot of penalties against the USA. As, they're quite cynical, trying to stop Ireland from playing now, and I think if there's any more penalties, Joubert has to go to his pocket and try and put someone in the bin.
Ronan O'Gara invites his forwards to go again. Driscoll calling the shots, but it's going to be that man O'Connell looking at his hooker. Southern country. And it goes, safe take from the big man in the middle. 8 takes through the course of this match. You can see where the principal target is. Again, Chenery at the back with ball in hand.
Through the middle, forward.
And again, it's disrupted. Again, it's going to stem that particular tide. But can Ireland get the ball back? Looking for it, but O'Gara just with a little dink through. Anticipation from Keith Earls, but also from Tim Newsaz. Good work from the Eagles scrum half.
I'm not sure that's the right decision from Joubert. I think Newsaz brought the ball back over the line, and again, it's a disappointing return from Ireland's point of view.
It's going to need to return from their own 22 now. Andrew Trimble opting to kick. Just to remind you, 3 tries already in the bag. The brace from Tommy Bowe and one from Rory Best at the beginning of the second half.
In touch.
And Gwenya, well, that's the first time we've seen Birit's flyer actually show what he can do in open play. Heading for the last play now for Ireland. Checking the calls, checking the oxygen levels. Owen Redden making sure that everybody knows what's going on in the hunt for the bonus point. The game's in the bag, no question of that. It's this bonus point try that is the target now. And Driscoll feeds out, but Emmerich intercepts, and Paul Emmerich is going to run away to get something for the Eagles. Well, the US fans stand to celebrate that interception try from Paul Emmerich, ironically, who's been playing his rugby in Ireland for the last season. They call him Cactus. He says it's because he's a prickly old man. He's a happy, smiling old man right now, because that last play of the game has denied Ireland the possibility of the bonus point try. There it was, the anticipation from the experienced midfielder, and nobody at home to stop him.
They look pretty dejected, the Irish players. It's very well read by Paul Emmerich, and massive. You can see the joy in the Americans' faces. All the players ran in behind the goals to congratulate him, and he's played well tonight for the USA. He's been very strong in defence. A couple of carries he's carried really strong.
Well, the conversion goes over to finish the game. The 2 tries from Tommy Bowe and from Rory Best put Ireland in charge of the match. They went looking for that extra bonus point. It didn't come off. Emmerich has spoiled their party to a certain extent, but Ireland can be pleased that they've got this Rugby World Cup campaign off to a very positive start, because the final score is Ireland 22, the USA 10.
Well, there were some positives. It did rain in the first half. Ireland suffered in the second. The tries didn't pour in, more like dribbled in. It's a win for Ireland. Hardly convincing. Analysis and reaction when we return.